Boom. Greetings, Frank. Greetings, everyone. It is a hot
Yeah.
day today, but
Yeah.
we are here to do the review of PT's book. Of course, nothing can stop us. That's what I was telling myself. I was about to postpone, and
All
then
right.
a voice came in my head and said, "Hey, whoa! Nothing can stop you. Not even the heat." So I'm here
Yes.
with you today, Frank. But yeah, it's like 35 degrees, but it's good.
Right.
Me, I enjoy this kind of temperature. It's better than minus 35. Believe me, it's
Oh yeah. Definitely.
a whole different story.
Right.
So that's it. Today we're gonna start with life. Look,
Mhm.
even if we have done it, that's what I told you. I'm not sure if we ended with life, but it's not a bad thing to redo it anyway. That
Yes.
book is the kind of book you should read at least. I'm not exaggerating. Probably 7 to 10 times before it
Yes.
really seeks in and really, yeah, that you have reasoning because someone commented also, and it was interesting. He said, until you apply everything that's in that book, until you apply it, you cannot really sense what's going on with what he writes sometimes. So you really
Right.
have to like acknowledge that you're in prison. That's what we're gonna do after the Matrix.
Right.
But
Yeah.
there's certain steps, I think, basic steps that we can take to not shock us too much. Also, put us in shock. So, life, life, Frank. I'm letting you
Yes.
go with life.
We'll start with life. Life. Life is but a preparation for afterlife. Not many understand this. Thus, all the mess.
Short and sweet, and it goes right to the point, even
To
en
the point.
français. To the
Yes.
point. Like, la vie. C'est quoi la vie? C'est quoi la vie? Pourquoi on est en vie? Pourquoi, like, c'est une question existentielle aussi que beaucoup de gens se posent. La vie, c'est quoi la vie? La vie n'est rien d'autre qu'une préparation pour la vie après la mort. Très peu comprennent cela et ainsi tout le désordre. Parce que du moment qu'on from the moment we understand that life is a preparation, you prepare. Like I said the other day, you're gonna have an opportunity. One day you're gonna die,
Yes.
so
Exactly.
you better be prepared for that opportunity. It is one. I see that totally as an opportunity to go to higher realm or to go
Mhm.
through some portals. Or I have a lot of idea in my head what can happen after. Maybe there's nothing. Who knows? But I'm pretty sure uh, in my heart, in our hearts, we all feel like there is something after life. Why we would be built up so uh, s- such magical beings? Because once you recognize, I'm not talking about being stuck in Matrix. That's
Right.
what we're talking here. We're talking about guys and girls and both men and women like us that are escaping that matrix. So I'm not
Yes.
totally there. I'm
Mhm.
escaping the matrix, but I have a great desire exactly to prepare for that exodus. One
Right.
day we're gonna have an exodus movement of the people. Yeah.
Exactly. Did you get frozen, Yana, or am I frozen? I wonder. Well, I'm not sure if I'm live on my end. I'm live as a person right now, so the number is still counting on the edge. So I'm just gonna go forward with this, the P-log of life. Um, Life is a preparation for afterlife. Not many understand this. Thus, all the mess. I mean, it's such a true statement, and the more that we can live with, the more that we can live with the way of being that helps us to prepare for afterlife, the more that we actually live life like for real, right? That's when we can actually, take a hold of our own actions and choose them wisely, so that the works that we do here will, build up our riches in heaven. And I think there's some saying like that in the Bible or something like that. Do the works here on earth and build up your riches in heaven, and don't do works with the motivation of earning your wealth on earth, because as is the nature of this place, things degrade in time, they rust and they decay. But if we can develop the divine qualities, and if we can move toward an evolving life, we can develop things within us that don't fade over time, as long as we can stay true to higher and divine and living a life of purpose. And it looks like right now that I'm still live, but I think Yannick isn't. So y'all just bear with me for a second, because I just got a message, and let's see what it says. Yannick says, hold on. So anyways, I'm going to keep sharing on the sentiment. And we also hear, things like the Tibetan Book of the Dead, the Egyptian Book of the Dead. And these were cultures and peoples who, and to some degree, because I'm not very familiar with all of the works that are in those books, but they share that same sentiment of living life purposefully, taking actions that will allow access to higher realms, and navigating the spirit or the soul after death, to be able to make it to heavenly realms. So that's a big part of being able to, like P says, die successfully. If we can break free from the bondage and the chains of being trapped into the cycle of birth and death, as we are able to break free from that, and reach higher realms, then that is us living a successful life that led to a successful death. And we can't be attached to what that outcome is, because that's not up to us. That judgment is from divine upon each one of us. And so we just have to be okay with that, being out of our hands, because what is in our hands is our actions that we take. And we want to just be continuous with the positive types of actions and the right type of developing the right type of attitude, and just taking care of our basic foundational needs, living in our body and doing the right type of actions with it, to be able to prepare ourselves for the afterlife, because part of it is like building a momentum of proper action, proper mentality, proper attitude towards nature, towards higher and divine. And this is also kind of like an eighth house, not kind of, but it's definitely an eighth house related piece, in which, it is what is going to happen to us after we leave the bodies that we are currently inhabiting during this life. What's going to happen to our spirit after the death of these bodies? We don't know what's going to happen. It is a mystery. It is unknown to us. It has yet to happen. But at the same time, there are many ways in which we can experientially subjectively experience our consciousness outside of the context of living life awake on earth in this body, right? Because we have dreams that we experience. There's different types of states of consciousness in which we can experience our own perception or interaction with other types of energies, entities, consciousness, and things like that, that might not be based in a tactile 3D physical world experience. And so to me, and I feel like to many, that probably is just a validation of, okay, Yannick says he's trying to reconnect. It's just a validation of there is experience, there is life after death. And so it's so important for us to be able to do the right thing so that we can, direct ourselves in a way that is going to be desirable. So let me just see if there's any other things that I can do with where Yannick is, and maybe if I can invite. I don't know if I can invite him because I'm present settings. Sorry to have these technical difficulties at this time, but let's see. Mute settings, mute the studio. What we might have to do is just end this session and start another one. But I'm going to just message Yannick really quick. Do you want to start again from what's our next P-log? Reality, no, prison matrix. Okay. So basically
I'm there, I think.
Oh, hey, we made it. Okay, yeah, here we are.
This internet provider or the thing there that it's nonsense.
Right.
Anyway.
Well, we didn't skip a beat. There's a moment of trying to communicate for just a second. But what I was able to share was just the observations of this P-log about life, and it's just important. And we see, right, that's as we move toward living a purposeful, meaningful life, we find the actions that we take aligning with preparing ourselves for, a higher existence after this life. I mean, not only do we want positivity, well-being, a higher consciousness in the present, but we also want that for our future. So as we prepare ourselves, that we're just like a plant. We're like a seed, the seed, you don't put the seed in the ground and then it's, a 10-foot tall sunflower the next day. It's just, it's a natural progression, step by step. And actually, it's like, climbing the stairway to heaven and building the stairs with your own actions of positivity, awareness, respect for nature, respect for your own self and other beings. It's really
and
good.
There's trees also in the forest that will stand tall by themselves, like the bamboo tree, and grow in no time. Like it takes I think 90 days to grow. Once it moves out the ground, after I think it's 4 or 5 years in the ground. But then you take cucumber, they're gonna need support.
Right.
So some people will need support, will need guidance, plants too. So everything, I think, like you say, that happen in nature can be observed from your own perspective, your own life too. Can apply it to your life. Me, when I
Exactly.
garden with my plants, that's what I tell myself. Like, even tomatoes, they grow in clumps, like together, you
Right.
know, and it makes the thing that holds them is very strong too. So
Yeah.
to support the weight, but often, we tend to forget the garden, the natural world, because we get everything from a grocery store almost. So
Right. Exactly.
it's
Yeah,
hard
I
to.
mean the garden is such a good opportunity, and I'm glad that we keep coming back to it. I mean, for us here in the northern hemisphere, I mean, it is the time of year and the season in which we get to be, working on growing food and stuff like that. But I mean, it's an opportunity to become more self-reliant, more responsible for ourselves, and then it's also an opportunity where you're there, you're connecting with the earth, you're connecting with nature. You get, I mean, I love to talk to the plants too. And in like, as a Vedic practice, doing mantric repetitions and things like that. I mean, it's the perfect time to do that. Being in the garden, repeating that you want your well-being, or that you want to, be disciplined with your body for, the evolution of your consciousness. I mean, these are, I feel like it puts good vibes into the plants too.
Yeah, and yesterday we were eating a salad, me and my wife, with cucumber, tomatoes, and onion, all from the garden. So I'm like,
Nice.
wow, I'm like, the reward also associated with growing your own food and then preparing it for yourself is enormous. Like, in the mouth, feels so
Yes.
much better, tastes so much better. Oh,
Mhm.
I'm
Yes.
sold to gardening for sure. I'll garden as long as I can, and I give thanks that I can do it also. Like, every
Yes.
day I get out there, I sweat, but I give thanks I can do it. Same like emptying the dishwasher. Now I'm grateful I can empty the dishwasher. Like,
Right.
crazy
Yes.
stuff like that. But yeah, it does happen to me at times. I'm super grateful.
Right. Yeah. From the heart.
So that's it. So la vie, c'est ça qu'on now observation in the matrix. You wanna?
Yes. Yeah. So that's just the segue to this next section. So observations in the matrix, and the first P-log that starts after that is prison/matrix. Prison matrix. One has to know one is in a prison before one makes any attempt to escape.
Prison, la matrice. Tout le monde a entendu parler de ça. Un être doit savoir qu'il est dans une prison avant qu'il ne tente de s'en échapper. So if you don't know you're in prison, the matrix, it's in your head. It's in our head. I mean, it's not outside with the trees and the bushes and the bees
Right.
and the elephants and the lions, and that's nature. That's the matrix in your head.
Right.
So, and on TV and all the nonsense, the lies, the manipulation, all this, it's all part of the matrix you hold in your head. So I think at one point, unless you have enough of lying to yourself and lying to others, and you will never want to move out of there, because also the lies fit with everyone else around. Like, you will fit in with the truth and the reality and that stuff. So often you will not fit in certain group, certain family members and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, so it's very often it's there. It's very potent in people's head, but you have to realize that you are living a lie, like
Mhm.
an illusion. Like, everything you know is illusion. It's nonsense. It's like,
Right.
you look at it today. Today I look at it and I laugh sometimes, like, super hard, because it's laughable how gullible and how we just take everything they say for cash and go with it and
Yeah.
build the matrix in our head with
Mhm.
that knowledge that they feed us about
Yes.
whatever it is. Go from Christopher Columbus to whatever, bring it on. Like,
Right.
we can be here day and night talking about their lies, but that's it. It's a construct. It's a matrix. So as long as we perpetuate the lie that they give us, we will always live in that kind of of nonsense world where people prefer to live the lie than face reality, because it's very strange, the reality also. Like it's stranger than the fiction that they give you. The fiction they give you is like, okay, it's nonsense, but it makes sense because you look around and like there is fears, there is stuff. So you're like, okay, maybe like, but you once you realize that it's much more than that. Exactly, you tend to escape that prison matrix and mind control. The mind control is the matrix. Like when
Definitely.
you're because there is muggles out there, and there is a lot that are totally mind control, and they don't know. People don't know. Like, do you think they get up in the morning and say, "Hey, I'm mind control"? No, they don't know. We don't know. I didn't know. I was like, I don't know, going just along with it, and with never going too deep. We stay on surface. We never dive deep in the rabbit hole.
Exactly.
To know what's real or not, because at one point you also want to come out the rabbit hole and see the light. Like, it's dark in there.
Right.
You go in, you dive in the rabbit hole. I did it. I documented myself, all kinds of stuff. Read the Bible, Quran, bring it on. I told you all that. Yeah. But at one point, you come out of there and you realize, like, it's all nonsense down there. Let's get out.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's the exit of the matrix, I call it.
Right.
And then
there's two things that you say sometimes, Yannick, that come to mind when hearing this P-log. And then sometimes I hear you say, you go, I didn't know that I didn't know that I didn't know. And really, that's the state that we're in. Really, when we are ignorant to our own actions and the consequences that are coming from the things that we're doing, that are we're just in this perpetuated cycle, of it's a thing that we can awaken to. It is possible, but we have to want to do that, because we can keep our blinders on for as long as we choose to, and now reality is going to keep getting a little bit more and like it will keep getting more in your face until, like, you don't have a choice but to acknowledge something. But at the same time, we are, and people defend the matrix, and people defend all these things because so many different types of reasons. But and then another thing I remember hearing you say, I think I've seen other places too, but as we are awakening and things like that, realize real lies. Right.
Like, at one point, many people have eyes, but they lack vision because they can't see nothing.
Yes.
Or maybe they're not meant to see anything. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder, because maybe, I don't know, there's a bunch of chosen one to see things. I don't know, but we all have eyes. I think we can all open up our eyes and start questioning. There's no doubt. We all have a brain. We all have eyes. So it's not for a select group of people. Yeah. Maybe I have more strength, internal strength and determination than another one. But I have the eyes. We all see the same way, like a tomato plant will see it the same way, all of us.
Yes.
And like the brain is the same. We know how you feel. That's why we are like one, because with each other, because I can know all the emotions you can go through, Frank. I can know it because I'm a human like you. So so dog is another thing. I'm trying often to reason to know what she thinks, and it's a total different thing. Because I'm not a dog, but a human. I can totally relate to any human on earth, anyone.
Right.
Because we all, at one point, process this life and this thing that we call life. And I mean,
exactly.
It's not because you live in another country, or life is life, and you've been given like this magical gift, and we should all like very be grateful for just being alive. Like, You're champion from the start. You have won the lottery at the start because you survived millions of sperm to make it here today. So that's why I told my son. He said, "Dad, we're gonna be champion." I said, "I'm already a champion. I'm a champion from start. Look, I made it to the egg." So all these conceptions that we need to get there or to be like, you already are everything that you need to be in order to face this life. You just need to get strong, and you're equipped to go through this life. We're all equipped to go through it. But if we let the system, the matrix, get to us and shit, and the nonsense of this world, there's great chance we perish with the nonsense.
Yeah.
But if you're willing to do the work, you will escape this nonsense. It's for sure. Like once your brain has expanded, like once your brain, I don't like to use so much consciousness as word, but once your presence has expanded in the present moment, life is totally different. Totally different. Your perspective change, everything. So I think
and P shines some light on it in so many different ways. I mean, this whole thing, how he's saying, before you actually start to escape, you have to realize that. And that's what we start seeing the nature of reality around us more clearly, then we can actually start to become more in alignment with living life purposefully. And I like what you were mentioning too about just being able to relate to other people and the web of life, connecting to other species or another plant consciousness or anything like that. I mean, there's the web of life is interconnected, so that's why it's so important for us to start to develop that respect for life, and because everyone has to be developing that within themselves if we want things to move more positively. But we are only in control of our own actions, and we can't control other people. So that's where it starts. Each one of us has to start with working on developing our positive attitudes, our positive behaviors, and our positive actions, repetitions, and things like that. And that's where we have control. That's where we have the ability to decide what's going to happen to whatever extent that we can. And then another thing too that's cool is that as far as an individuality aspect, so like in astrology, right, each one of us has a birth chart, the way that the sky looked when we were born, which is a reflection of certain traits and qualities that we express and live out in life. And one of the things that P said was like, there's no chart that was meant to not evolve. There's no placement in there that makes it to where you can't work on yourself and improve and get better. I'm paraphrasing basically. That's not exactly how P said it, but every single person in their unique individual way that they can use those energies in a positive way to transform themselves into something better, into something that's going to be, doing what we came here to do, and that is to work on evolving ourselves, changing, and work on living life in preparation for higher states beyond this life.
Even animals around us praise, bow, and serve higher and divine. There's just us that are incoherent with the life we should be doing. Look, they do praise divine because why do you think the birds sing?
Yes, right.
You think they sing just to sing? No, they sing probably to the divine or something. That's another thing I would like to understand, the bird language.
No, right.
But I think the whole of nature is praising higher and divine and serving, because that's what they do. Like everything grows from the earth.
Exactly, right.
I think it's about time for us human, exactly, to start bowing. So, first of all, that's it. Start with a bit of humility, humbleness, and stuff, and bring your being to a point where you realize that I said it often. I live my life like an idiot pretty much all my life, not questioning too much. So once you realize that, sometimes I choose the word I use here because I don't want to rub people the wrong way, but I could use other very negative words that I won't. I just live my life like an idiot. But now I decided to move out this realm of nonsense TV and stuff and Matrix. And
Right.
the reality is very different. That's the next one. La réalité telle qu'elle est, reality as it is. I think that's what it is in English.
Yes, yes. Reality as
Reality
it is.
as it is.
We'll go from there.
We'll go with that.
Reality as it is. Most people here refuse, blatantly a lot of times, to see reality as it is. No wonder they are trapped here in this prison existence and can't get out.
La réalité telle qu'elle est. La plupart des gens ici refusent, souvent de manière flagrante, de voir la réalité telle qu'elle est. Et on peut donner beaucoup d'exemples. Pas étonnant qu'ils soient tous coincés ici dans cette existence prison et ne puissent pas en sortir. Yeah, that's it. The reality, seeing reality as is. First of all, it's naming things as they are. That's the first thing you should do. Like start naming things for what they are. If you're gonna put name on every little thing on earth, can you name them properly? Like white and black and stuff like that has to go. First of all, the black and white is so nonsense. That's the first big, huge nonsense.
Yeah.
You know, and then comes a lot of other ones because I think a lot of racism and all kinds of nonsense that they talk about in Babylon starts with the fact that we're not naming things as they are because there's no white, there's no black people there. That doesn't exist.
Right.
That's not the reality.
No.
So why do we keep saying that?
Right.
Exactly. So when we move out, that's another lie. You know, you want to build a book of lies, there would be a lot. So that's another one. So once we let go of that thing of not seeing reality as it is, because the truth is what is. It's not very complicated. Yes. I don't come here prepared. I don't have to lie. So I don't have to prepare. I go with my heart, my brain, and my experience, and that's all it is. Then. So when the reality, they perceive reality in a much different way today than before. So yeah.
Yes.
And I'm sure many people also, we're not the only ones seeking, questing, and going on the quest here. It's not only Truman and Frank. There's many people here going on a divine quest. And I'm so relieved to see that. And from my living days too. So I hope I see much more evolution, and involvement from people to make this earth evolve into possibly one day what it should be. Because I'm sure also we probably didn't live in this kind of illusion permanently forever. Like 1,000 years ago, there was no like there was people here. Like the earth was existing.
Yeah, exactly.
It was existing a long time ago. So where's the so PT gives us a good also glimpse on the reality from before with Vidzik and stuff. So yes, that's what I like, because who can you really rely on to tell you what was real back then and to what you've been told? Like I've heard a lot. I saw all kinds of movies, all kinds of stuff. Right. I have an imagination very fertile. I can imagine a lot from the past, but is it really reality? So I think, the Jesuit made all the religion to divide us. Yeah, the Jesuit. Yeah, je suis avec un T. It's je suis avec un T, you know. It's Jesuit, Jesus, all these words, je suis, I am. It's all related. So so you be. Yeah, you be. So reality, Frank.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I love this the way he starts. Most people refuse blatantly a lot of times to see reality as it is. And I've heard Pete say a lot of interesting things about, because this whole thing, right? seeing reality as it is not always easy. And people often will be in denial, because the truth of the matter is that reality is not always pleasant. It's not always like something that's like, because that's the nature of like what life is like on this realm. We have to deal with things that are unpleasant. And this is like what the Vedic thing teaches, right? So you have to deal with death, disease, decay, and old age. Nobody wants to deal with those things, but if you're fortunate enough to live into old age and to die, I mean, you will deal with your body breaking down. These bodies were not meant to last forever. That's part of the God design of this realm that we're in, because going through that, we learn. When we see other people going through it, and it's important for us to face that. If we can face the reality of death, then we can live our lives in that light, which is going to help like inspire, motivate, and energize us to do the right thing, which is, eating right, taking care of our bodies, being, like cultivating the right kind of attitude, relationship toward nature, toward divine. I mean, a lot of people, that will be in denial that, oh, nothing happens after death, and you just turn into dust or whatever. But it looked like you wanted to say something.
I was dying to say something, but I'm going to tell you one reality that is probably very, very uncomfortable. Is that we're all irresponsible brats, and that's the reality. So once this change, you take responsibility for your life, for the food that you eat, for the food you cook, for your children. Like there's so many responsibilities we have to take. That's it. You're still in evolution until you have reached that state where you are no more an irresponsible brat, because that's why the mess out there, because you are an irresponsible brat parent, and that's what you make with your children. More irresponsible brat, they will be even worse than you probably, because you're gonna train them to be irresponsible brat, and that's everyone, unless you do a massive effort. So a lot of people sometimes must not like what I say, but I'm not here to be like. And the reality is we have to get told stuff like that to shake us out. Like sometimes it takes only a tragedy to move you out of your illusion. So unless maybe someone come and shake you and tell you the reality as is, you're never gonna move out of there, because you don't even know it exists. You think the fiction you live is life. That's what we think. We all think that until we realize, hey, whoa, the sun moves and this and that. And there's a whole bunch of realization you're going to make. Mm-hmm. But I think the first one would be to look at yourself and realize you are an irresponsible brat. You never took responsibility for your life. You always relied on the system. Just like me. I put myself in there. I'm not different than anyone else. I'm probably just maybe a little bit more forward with my mouth. I'm not different. I'm just living this life just like all of you guys, and I just would love to feel something different one day than the same like nonsense stuff that I see around. So
I mean,
reality.
P said another great thing. He said the multiverse always wants you to face reality. There's never a time that it doesn't want you to face reality. And the more that we can actually live by that, that's when the real like magic world opens up, and we see things that can be so simple, but like really can inspire us, can change us, we can see the interconnectedness of life. And there's so many like Vedic tenets and principles that once you kind of hear about it, and you can actually watch it going on in life. I mean, just the simple thing of, actions have consequences, right? I mean, so many people are disconnected from that reality, and they want to live their life as if their actions don't have any consequences. But lo and behold, you wake up to that reality one day, and if you haven't, being responsible with yourself, then you get to live the life of a brat, and that's sad because it sucks, to
Oh yeah,
face it.
yeah, it sucks. And I mean, like I said, also, like, what's the reward of going to sit your ass in a restaurant to eat? Like, it's the last thing I do is go eat in a restaurant. I feel bad. The food, first of all, I haven't prepared it. I haven't grown it. So, all these things now really doesn't impress me no more. But a nice plant in the garden that I will make a nice salad with, that is the summum for me right now. But I'm telling you, it's all comes with with facing reality, and that all these places are not supportive of you. That's why it's called the rest o rent. That's where you rest your rent. I'm not into a rent no more. I don't want to rent no more. So it's not a rent here. It's just a declaration of love.
Right.
That's what it is. I love all humans. I don't like them all, but I love them all.
Right. Yes.
I don't like the way they think. That's the problem. Like, open up your brain a bit. Open your mind. Open up. Like, stop being so close-minded, and be open also to other people's idea, opinion, or whatever perspective. Like, it's fun. It's that's what we're here for, to share perspective. You see life a certain way. I see it another way, probably. But me and you were pretty much on the same level.
Right.
I'm talking with others, so
right.
It's just open up a bit, and facing reality is the best gift you can do for your own being. Is to face reality, the reality of your own being first, and then you can go out in the world, and there's a lot of stuff you can go after and stuff. But I think the reality of your own being first, realize your ways, the ways that you live and stuff, is very important. I'm not saying I'm going in, I attain perfection here, but I'm on the way to evolve. Like, I want to evolve. I say it out loud. I practice it. So maybe one day I will evolve from this realm called the Earth. So hello. Is it me
hello?
You're looking for?
A very common greeting that we hear. Hello. Hello. All one hears is hello, hello. Yes, we know hell is low, and you are in it. No need to reiterate it like a divine mantra billion times a day.
Hello, bonjour en français. Tout ce qu'on entend, c'est hello. Ben, en français aussi, on dit beaucoup hello, 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 hello. Sounds the same. So, hello, oui, on sait hell is low, ou l'enfer est bas, et vous êtes dedans. Pas besoin de le réitérer comme un mantra divin 1 milliard de fois par jour. C'est ça. That's what happens often, is we all repeat those divine, like it's a divine mantra, hello. Okay, I know I'm in hell. Don't need to be reminded all day long but that's also, at one point there will be something happening in your brain that you will start thinking before you talk, and not anything will be pouring out your mouth like verbal diarrhea. You will be thinking before you talk, and these words might go away. You will be selective in the words that you use. I think that's me. I think a lot before I think. Sometimes I might slip one or two, but for sure I tend not to. And check, because this is, especially in English, French, it's a spell. Like, cast on yourself. So you gotta be. That's why you gotta be very careful what you think you will attract and stuff. Like, your thoughts have powers.
Right.
Like, you can think of creating something and bring it to life. Don't tell me your thoughts have no power.
Yeah.
So what you think has a lot of power, and often we forget that, and we don't think of the words we speak.
Right. Yeah. This one of the things that I would say one of the effects that listening to P talk about different things, one of the effects that it had on me, he has certainly changed the way that I choose to express myself, which words I choose to use, and that, like you were saying, and like he's talked about many times in the past, is the word makes the world. We create our own reality through how we speak of ourselves and how we speak to others. And and so, if we can actually learn to say what we mean and in reality, like what we actually want for ourselves, and then so doing that, and also learning about like what makes a word, like how do these sounds and how do these things come together to either trap us or liberate us from our own self-beliefs or our own whatever, right? There's so many different things, but we really can work on moving toward a real freedom by using our speech properly. And that's one of the just core tenets of certainly the Vedic perspective is proper speech and repeating pure principles and timeless truths and affirmations of wanting to improve ourselves and wanting to stay in alignment or work on aligning ourselves with nature and the divine force. These kind of things, actually, we can cast that spell for our well-being and for that positivity and for like getting to a place where we're really like creating happiness through proper actions, and creating all these different types of like positive emotions and things that are desirable. We get there through doing the right kind of actions, and certainly so I'm I'm saying all that because of this plog pointing out this word hello. It's it's kind of a mindless greeting that that, like P says, people say over and over again. If you really just look at the word, then you kind of get to this point that hell is low, and it's just said so mindlessly. Yeah, we can choose other ways to express ourselves. We can choose to refine how we are going to be in the world, and that is the steps of working on improving, evolving ourselves, and things like that. So, yeah, it's
to keep you low onto low energy. Also, all these words,
right.
Because if you get up every day, you say, "Oh, I'm so grateful to be alive. Give thanks for life." All these good things you can tell to the heater or whoever's listening, your brain or your cells or
You're right.
whoever's listening out there, the trees then if you wake up and say, "Oh, I'm depressed. Life is so freaking boring. Another day on this earth," and like your being is feeling this, so everything changes the moment. Also, internally, I think the moment you start thinking of the words you use and stop repeating them like a divine mantra, you can slip it out once or twice. Probably it's gonna happen for sure
Right.
because you are programmed. That's why
Yeah.
you're a pro at grammar. You've been programmed. So it's to really, you want to erase the program. It's that. It's, go into the grammar in your head and,
Right.
let go of some words that are not at all supportive of our evolution, of our upliftment here while we're on Earth. So it's to live a life of, no, you should be uplifted and living a life of magic and tell yourself everything is magic. And anyway, me, I tell myself all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I see it in nature. Squirrels, freaking magic, these things, they grow onto wires, posts, and they're fast. And like, they can never catch a squirrel. Maybe
Yeah.
that's why. Nature has intended everything perfectly, like a little chipmunk. Look the size of my dog. My dog goes after it, can catch it. So yeah,
Right.
nature has intended everything perfect for us. It's just us. That's it. We're out of sync with the speech, with the action, and everything, like you said.
Right.
So
Yeah,
realize
and
the
just
speech, and
what
that's it.
one other thing that I will just bring up too, that even this practice of like being able to see etymology and the words and using words right. I mean, it connects back to like specific sciences or practices in the Vedic thing that they talk about. I mean, there's something called shiksha, I think, or yeah, I think that's what it's called. And that's the study and the understanding of etymology. And there's a vyakarna, and there's these different things. Those are part of the Vedangas, which they've talked about this stuff from like in the way back, which is so cool to know that how we are able to become more aware of our own self and the reality. I mean, it's all been written for so long ago, And P is a really great example of just being able to have that knowledge embodied and be able to just like put it there and to be able to look at it and say, this is,
You look
it's
at
just
it, you look at the numbers and the letters, looks like a code. So maybe we have to decode it.
right.
So it's decoding the words and stuff, and yeah, that's
Right.
a good practice. That's what the etymology is all about. It's decoding the matrix.
Yeah.
So one day we are free of this matrix. Maybe, I don't know if one day we'll get there, but I'm pretty sure it hasn't already always existed. Like I don't, I wasn't there like 3, 4, 500 years ago. This is the thing. I cannot speak about it. I
Right.
wasn't there, and I can't rely so much on mainstream. So, but I cannot. I think this matrix that we're stuck in is just the last 100 years or so. Once they started that educational system and stuff, that
Mm.
system of Babylon, but the
Right.
Babylonian system been there, like I just said it, Babylonian system. So it's since the Babylonian, maybe. Who knows when they live, when they like. Anyway, we are here right now in this time. So
Yeah.
never mind the Babylonian. We're gonna finish with hi.
Hi.
Hi. I think that's the
Yes.
one. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Hi. The most prevalent greeting of what is now called the West, hi, pronounced hi, Haai, hi is the same as a Hindi Urdu term, which means a call in or a call of distress. Makes sense considering that this is an actual reflection of their state. Things have a way of giving themselves away, even if it is not intended that way. Or are they trying to say that the person they are addressing is high or higher than them? If that is the case, their body language doesn't suggest any such intent.
Yeah. Hi. Salut. Salut. La manière la plus courante de saluer dans ce qui est appelé l'Ouest, I, prononcé I, H-A-A-I, est le même que le terme Urdu, qui signifie un appel à l'aide en détresse. Cela a du sens, considérant que c'est une réflexion actuelle de leur état. Ils ont besoin d'aide.
Mhm.
Les choses ont une manière de se révéler d'elles-mêmes, même si cela n'est pas l'intention de base. On peut être, ou peut-être qu'ils essaient de dire que la personne à qui ils s'adressent est high ou higher, élevé, supérieur. Si c'est le cas, leur langage corporel ne suggère pas une telle intention. This is where it's incoherent. Like we're very incoherent being because our action don't match the words, and like it's very incoherent because if you say hi, that's it. It should be deserved for beings that are higher and divine.
Right.
Like you don't
Yeah.
say but this is it. Now we say I, all these words just like that. But
Right.
often that's it. Like he said, leur langage corporel ne sujette pas une telle intention. So if you are not with your body, if you're arrogance, I think should be out the way here, out of context, because there's no place for arrogance when you talk about langage corporel, and often that's what you perceive from people. They're very arrogant towards higher and divine. That's where I want to go.
Right. Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
myself, I was like, make the point.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's it. I think we're very out of sync, the speech and all. So that's just another one for me that really doesn't match the real reality of what they're actually saying and doing.
Right. I love the point that he makes here too, how, you know, well, if you consider that what they're expressing is actually a
Yeah.
call or a signal of distress, I mean, just imagine you hear anyone saying that and they're actually in a way expressing their distress and their, you know, inability to be in control of their lives. You know, they're scared, they're angry, whatever it is. And how Pete connects it, things have a way of giving themselves away, even if it's not intended. You can't hide the truth. It will come out. It will express itself in one way or another, you know. So that's a very cool connection that he makes, because that's, you know, if people could actually acknowledge their own state and that they would, you know.
And usually, if you hide, it's because you need help. And then
Yeah.
hide, you have the high.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah,
Exactly.
exact. People are saying, "Hey, I need help," but you go help them and try to help them, and they refuse it very often. So that's it. If you don't want my help, why you say hi? If you don't
Right.
want help, like
Yeah.
you're saying, you need help, and you do
Right.
need help. We
Yeah.
all need help, not the whole way. Like at one point, you have to be able also to grow without support.
Right.
You should attach yourself to structures or stuff or like
Right.
cucumbers and grow without support. So that's
Right.
also the goal at one point is, yeah. No, very good one. This one, I like that. I
Yes.
makes sense considering that this is an actual reflection of their state.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
True, true.
Yeah.
So if you go to the root of the word, you will make sense of a lot of stuff. And that's
Right.
what it is here. It's going to doing a bit of etymology with PT's book. So large up, Frank, was very interesting, very informative, very necessary for our evolution, my evolution.
Yes.
So
Yeah, it's
that's
always refreshing to like put our eyes, put our attention on like these timeless truths. It helps us really to just you know, become more like dedicated and serious with our own well-being, with our own living life, you know, in a purposeful and a good way. So I'm super grateful for P to give us the content that we can be like, wow, that's
and
just,
also
you know,
give us
life-changing.
the opportunity to do this. We
Yeah.
obviously asked PT first before we take his book and decipher every word in there. But he knows we're not. I'm not here to hurt anyone. Not PT, not anyone who come on the Truman Show. I'm not here to hurt or to. I have only love in my heart, and that's what I want to share. So, boom, we're out. Greetings, everyone. UB, Emily, everyone in the chat, off
Yes.
chat, doesn't matter. We love you all. Boom, we're
We'll
out.
be back.
Oh, yes.